Combine like terms. Benny is working with a patient who has lymphoma, who needs a stem cell transplant. The goal of the stem cell transplant is to infuse healthy working cells back into the patient. In order to determine the amount of stem cells to transplant in correlation with the desired result, Benny will need to simplify this equation. So simplify this, we will need to, let's do a quick review first, so we know. So when solving an equation with multiple variables on both sides, the first step is to simplify each side. So when simplifying, start by combining like terms. So let's go back to our problem. And let's look at the left-hand side and let's start to simplify. So we have 5x minus 4 minus 2x is equal to 3 minus 10x plus 1. So we can see that we have two terms on the left-hand side that we can simplify. So we have 5x minus 2x. So this will give us 3x minus 4. And so now on the right-hand side, we can also simplify. So we have the 3 and the 1 that are the same. So we have 3 plus 1, which is equal to 4. And then we have minus 10x. So now the next part will be to move the variable to one side. So the negative 10x is actually the smaller one, even though it is much larger by number size. But because it's negative, we will move that one over to the right-hand side. So let's add plus 10x plus 10x. This gets rid of the 10x on the right-hand side, so that becomes 0. So now we have 4. Then on the left-hand side, we have 13x minus 4. So we're not done yet, as we need to add the 4 to both sides to get x all by itself. So let's add 4 to both sides. So this gets us to 8 on the right-hand side, because 4 plus 4 is 8. Minus 4 plus 4 is 0. So we're left with just 13x on the left-hand side. And now, to undo multiplication, we divide. So we could divide by 13 on both sides. 13 divided by 13 is 1. And now we have 8 divided by 13, which is actually not going to be a whole number. So we can just leave as is. So x is equal to 8 over 13. This is our answer. Now, let's look at one more example. Carmilla believes our patient may have lymphoma and has chosen to have our patient go through a molecular test. This test will be able to determine the exact gene or cell malformation that is causing the cancer. Knowing this information will make it easier to effectively treat lymphoma. In order to process the molecular test results, the laboratory healthcare professional who is processing this data will need to simplify this equation. 3 plus x minus 1 is equal to negative 2x plus 7 plus x. Simplify this equation for the lab professional. So, like before, we're going to simplify first. So, let us rewrite this. So now we've written it out. Let's start to simplify, but let's highlight what we can do. Oops. This 3 and this 1 can be brought together to be simplified, and then the minus 2x and the x can be simplified. So 3 minus 1 on the left-hand side becomes 2 plus x. Now we have minus 2x plus x, so that will give us just negative x plus 7. So let's now get x by itself. So to do this, we're going to actually add x on both sides. This gets rid of the x on the right-hand side, so it becomes 0. Here we are with just 7 on the right-hand side. Now x plus x is equal to 2x. So here we are, pretty close to being done, but we still need to keep working. So we want x by itself, so let us now subtract 2 to both sides. 2 minus 2 is 0. Now 7 minus 2 is equal to 5. And so the last step will be to divide by 2 on both sides to get x by itself. So this becomes x is equal to now 5 over 2. This is not a whole number, so we can just leave as a fraction. So remember, when working with equations with multiple variables on the same side, you first need to combine like terms before solving.